Hello, everyone. It's a nice, beautiful June 4th. My watch, for some reason, says Saturday the 1st of January 2005. I don't know why, so I'll have to see if I can fix that. But it's a beautiful day. Things are rapidly evolving as they tend to do as summer sets in. We are in now early summer. Since it's June and things are blooming, things are growing, everything's looking really good, and they got a lot to show. So I figured I'd do a yard tour again. I figured I'd do like at least like one or two more of these before I head out in July. Well, let's start over here because why not? The raspberries are doing good. The starts that start or showed up are doing pretty well as well. I think I need to give them a little bit of water. But I find that there's something bothering my raspberries. I don't see anything on the plant, so it must be hiding. But on the plus side, it's got lots of berries. In fact, some of them are already getting ripe because I think this is a June bearing variety or like a summer bearer. Because there's one that's ripening. Here's another one. It should be ripe here in just a few days. We got a lot of fruit. So pretty good fruit. So this will be good to get a harvest off of. There's a nice cluster right here. And we've got the new canes already coming through. I believe this is one here. It's coming through here. The raspberries, for anyone who doesn't know, along with blackberries, I think boysenberries too, are biennial. They're not biennial in the sense they're perennial rootstock. So the rootstock will continue to grow new plant or new branches and stuff. But they are biennial canes. So a cane will come up in its first year, like these offsets are coming up, or like that tall one in the middle there. They will grow a bunch of leaves and branches and rapidly grow. And then in fall, they'll drop their leaves, they'll go dormant. And then in the spring, the canes that grew the year before are going to emerge with clusters of leaves and flowers. And that's where the fruit comes. And so I got a lot of good growth last year, so I'm getting a lot of berries this year. Actually, I just noticed there's another start behind it. That's not part of the same plant, it's just another plant. The cactus is blooming. In fact, we're nearly done with flowering season already. We've still got some flowers to go, but you can see all of the previously flowered fruits. Some shots of the flowers. Here's a nice. I'm just gonna settle on this for a moment, hoping that it'll give me this option for a thumbnail. But yeah, beautiful flowers. They open up this orangey red, and then as they close and fade up, they turn like more red. And so this is the variety that I've mentioned before that I have in the yard. Well, it came with the yard, but this is a fruiting variety grown for jam, like jams, jellies, and preserves. And so it produces a lot of very nice, large, juicy fruit. This one is finished. It's finished, or just about finished. There's one flower hiding in the trees, but I can't get over to it right now. But this one, it doesn't fruit. Doesn't You don't harvest the fruit on this one. It's just got these pretty pink flowers. The apple tree doesn't look like we got any fruit this year, and I think it just flowered late. But the mint around it's doing pretty well. I could expect flowering to begin soon. Because this mint flowers like real easily, and then it just gets covered in bees. So that's one of the sources, like the best bee attractors I've found in like over in New Mexico here is like mint, lavender, rosemary. The banana yucca is doing good. It finished flowering a while ago. The primroses are still blooming inside it. The pear tree is doing pretty well. It's got some pears on it. There's one here. So there's another few up there. So we've got a few pears on the pear tree. It's doing pretty good. Pretty well. The lavenders are blooming. Well, this one's finished up. I was gonna harvest these, but I figured I'd let it grow a little bit longer. But this is the one of the classic lavenders, the cluster shaped one. And this plant suffered last year. It got a little too dry and dried up, but it came back somewhat. Oh, the traditional ooh, there's a bee. It's a bee right there. Honeybee. My regular English lavender is in full bloom. This is a classic. Smells really nice. Blooms well, as you can see. And the bees are loving it. Are discovering it and being all over it. There's a little bee. I love planting plants that attract bees because they need all the help we can give them. Okay, I'll leave that bee to do its business. The peaches, got lots of peaches on the tree. We actually had too many. I went through over the course of a couple weeks and actually picked off a bunch because we got way too many peaches for this small tree. But we've got, these are white princess peaches. There's another one down here. The tree itself is otherwise doing fine. Okay, I thought these curled leaves were a problem, but I did some research and I've seen others in the area. They all have these curled leaves. The plants, like the leaves are healthy, they're fine. The plant's fine. The dahlias are coming up pretty nicely. It looks like I lost one for sure. Or actually maybe not, because there's this little start coming up. Because these two came up a while ago and have been sitting in this small shrubby state. Well, that one didn't come up at all. The ash tree's looking good. These keys are becoming a problem because these are the ash tree's seeds. And this tree's primarily female, but I've seen some branches produce male flowers on it. And so I find them seedlings all over the yard. Like there's probably some in the grass right now that I'm walking over, and there's some in the cold frame over there that we'll get to. But some great flowering on the blackberry this year. Looks like we're getting some nice fruit. They're starting to grow. And there's the new canes for the blackberry coming up. The strawberry is in there, just producing a ton of runners. And so that's good. I just planted the strawberries in there, hoping they would survive. They did, somehow. Oops, a little backlit. The rose, this is semi-double, and not semi, it's to me it seems like it's between a fully double and a semi-double. And when the flowers are fully open, you see the center, but until that point, they're closed. It's finishing up its first round of flowering. We've also got another bud on the way right here, but a whole bunch of spent flowers. Looks like we got a pollinated one too. Normally I cut them off, but I want to get some seeds, so I think I'll leave it. The false red yucca is in full bloom. There's an old stem there that I need to remove, and we've actually already got some seed pods. These things produce seeds so easily. The seed pods are the seeds are little black, like sliver-shaped things. Oh, there's a lizard down there. The grape, sadly, still, I guess it did die because it didn't come up. If you look in the cold frame, a lot of the plants are just kind of chugging along in here. Once I get ready to pack up and move, I'm gonna get everything organized and ready to go. Until that point, I'm just kind of letting everything grow. My pelargonium hybrid, lots of flowers out. Some of them are finishing. There's an old spike there. The Blatelias are finishing up. There's still some good flowers out, but they're mostly finishing up in here. We got a couple seed pods. I pollinated a couple more, hoping to get some more seed pods, but I've got a couple there. I do love these. They're not fragrant, sadly, but they're just beautiful flowers. And they last they bloom for a long time. And there's the red semi-double pelargonium, the cymbidiums are in there, the amaryllis, the mints are just kind of coming up in their patches, the lemon thyme, elephant bush, snapdragon, citronella plant. The banana's kind of waking up finally and getting going. The daffodils, both inside and out, are getting ready to start to go dormant. I can see leaves starting to yellow, which is a good sign. There's some weeds in here. There's another ash seedling. There's another one, and another one. There's one hiding right here. Thought it could be sneaky. Yeah, so there's a bunch, and there's some seedlings coming up here. I don't really know what they are, but I'll wait and see. Some mint trying to crawl out as well. But the outside Blatelias, the ones that are not in the cold frame, are finally up. They're a little smaller of a patch. I think they like being in the shade more. But they're out now. And then we got one more spike right here. There's fourth fan right here that doesn't look like it wanted to bloom. The clematis, I wish I had done the tour while the clematis was in bloom, because it had a ton of flowers. You can see the remnants of a lot of them, but it had a ton of flowers. The pineapple's doing pretty well. Still don't see any signs of blooming, but we'll see. It's on its third year. The aloe vera is looking really nice. And there's a Nepenthes I brought out here that it shouldn't be out here. It's probably not going to like it. It definitely doesn't like it out here. But it had spider mites. I didn't want to risk any of the inside plants with it. Hostas. This is the Queen Josephine. I had a couple growths come up rotten, so I didn't want to leave the rest in there. That poppy's starting to grow again after it killed off some of itself. The balloon flower's growing really nicely. Really nice and full this year. It's one of my favorite plants. I planted it purpley blue when I got it. That's when I bought it, the color I bought it as, and it's turned since then. Like since the year after that year I planted it, it's been pink ever since, which is fine. It's about the same color as these primroses here. Oops, say out of the lighting again. This is like a very nice patch of them actually. I found the little seedling come up in here. Actually, no, this wasn't seedling. I pulled to pull up a plant from around the banana yucca, and I threw it in here, and it somehow survived. I've got a lot of flowers on the way still, and then a bunch that are finishing up. It's a very nice plant. It's very hardy to this environment, and it's a very popular plant here. So yeah, that's all for the garden beds and like the cold frame. The succulents. There's a bunch of them over here. The Hoya multiflora is out here because I repotted it and I left it out here, and it's actually been growing fine. It hasn't even blasted its buds yet. Like it had these buds. The herb planter that I started up, I've got room for one more. Greek oregano, stevia, the sweetener. When you eat a leaf like this, it tastes like sugary spinach. Some of the cacti. This is an Echinopsis hybrid that I can't remember. This is Echinopsis dominos, panda plant. A surprisingly still alive piece of my old Echeveria agavoides. A mammillaria here. What's this one? Marxiana. I need to pot that one up still. A blue barrel plant, Haworthia. Some kind of Kalanchoe, mother of hundreds or thousands. It was a start in one of my plants, and I pulled it out, potted it up, and it's growing now. Sansevieria. This is Trichocereus of some kind. There's that stupid cornflower, so I need to get off of there still. Peniocereus maculata. Forms these kind of weird triangular growths, and then kind of continues to grow skinny again. Climbing aloe. Cylindra or Optunia cibulata, the eaves needle, it's starting to grow again. It seems to, like in the fall, like now it drops those little skinny leaves it has and then starts to grow again with new branches later. Crassula rupestris, Mammillaria grahamii. What's that one? Stenocereus. My jade plant's doing okay. Here's my new Echeveria agavoides I was super happy about. Ow. I keep hitting my head on the stupid hummingbird feeder. Ow. I moved the stand over, which is why you obviously don't see it right here. But I left this one here, my Echeveria, or my Aeonium kiwi, and my Euphorbia mammillaria. It's got a lot of corking going on. It's a very old plant and a lot of branches. I could probably grow some of those off into new plants. The cacti are all hidden under here. Let me lift up the cover. I secured this cover down, although it looks like the tape, it just came right off the tape. But Nigipensis is blooming. Mammillaria nigipensis. Stapelia scutula is growing pretty well. There's another one of the mammillarias. This is Mammillaria rodantha. Echinocactus texensis, it's a native species. There's an Echeveria right there that I can't remember the name of, but I know I wanted this one, and I just can't reach in there right now. There's another mammillaria. I think it's Mammillaria hahiana. Yeah, it's hahiana. Camelobvia rose quartz. Mammillaria plumosa. It's a new acquisition. And actually, this guy here can come out. It's this aloe that I need to get identified because it just says pink aloe or aloe pink. I'm sure it's got a name, but it's in spike. I don't know how well it's showing up. But I'm super excited for those flowers. There's that little cactus I got in Old Town that I can't remember. Mammillaria columbiana, Mammillaria elegans. Back in here, Peniocereus viperanus is the skinny one that's kind of shadowed over here. My euphorbia. Ooh, I just pulled over my watch chain succulent. My euphorbia buplurifolia is doing fabulously. It's got some new growth coming on. It just finished blooming a couple weeks ago, and so it's starting to grow some more. This plant's 12 years old now with me. There's that. I have a bigger one, but that's one of my Euphorbia medusae. This is a new acquisition that I need to pot up. This is Crassula, that. That's the name. So let me put that up here. But my big Euphorbia medusae is growing a lot of new growth. This is Euphorbia Flanogi? I can't remember. I can't read that. But I had it written down in like print and not cursive. But it's a beautiful specimen. I won this. Believe it or not, I actually got this on my Orchid Society. It was someone brought in their plants for or a couple of succulents to add to the raffle table for some reason, and I won it. I already had one. That's this small one right here. It's the same type, but this is a much bigger plant, and it's a very nice specimen, so I just wanted to, I really wanted it, so I got it. And that's where the little Kalanchoe seedling or bit was. Let's see, what else is in here? I can pull this off for now, and then I'll just put it back on later. Oops, we're stuck. There we go. Ooh, we got some nice blooms going on up here. Yeah, there's the Mammillaria elegans, Columbiana, Cereus rubescii monstrose. This is Pringlei. Is this Pringlei? Yeah, Pringlei. Mammillaria. Oop, I'm stuck again. There we go. There's the Peniocereus maculata, or I mean, viperanus. It's a skinny little thing. This is Celsiana. Here is the Notocactus abellimanus, one of the few species in its genus. I think might be maybe the only one that blooms purple. It's a beautiful specimen now. I still don't know what this one is. If any of you guys know what this one is and can recognize it from the video, it'd be great. It's like this club-shaped cactus. It came with this one and this one. It's actually these three in this tray right here were potted together in one of those little clay display pots when I got it like 10 years ago, and they've been growing. I grew them separately since. Pherocactus latispinus, hopefully blooming size soon. Getting some nice spines on there. Mammillaria matidii in full bloom. This growth decided not to bloom yet, but this one is just covered in a thick ring of flowers. See if I can get a good shot of some of the flowers. And we got a whole bunch more buds still to come. It's been blooming for actually, I think, a couple weeks already. That's why I like Mammillarias, because they produce these little flower crowns of beautiful flowers. Mammillaria mystax is starting to bloom. And I actually was pollinating some of them. Matidii has several flowers that have been pollinated with Negepensis down there, and vice versa with Negepensis. But I did one flower with mystax here, but it was the only flower open at the time, so I couldn't pollinate anymore. It looks like we've got a bunch more on the way. An astrophytum of some kind. Mammillaria elongata copper king. Look at that plant, it's becoming a beast. I can pull off some of those pieces and root them. And then this is an Ecuadorian Andes species or Peruvian Andes species that I cannot remember the name of. But yeah, the cactus are all doing wonderfully. Lots of flowers emerging. We've also got, there's flowers on Celsiana here that are emerging. Flowers on elegans are beginning to emerge. And I'm pretty sure I saw some flowers starting to emerge on Spinaissima right here. But Spinaissima was blooming practically all winter. But yeah, Negepensis still has some blooms left to go. In case you notice this one, it's a double-headed plant. I bought it because it had two heads on it. It's got two different growth points. It's kind of like split off like that, so I figured it'd be cool to see what happens. The flowers on it are pretty interesting too. They're not just like plain yellow or white. They're like this creamy yellow with this dark stripe on each petal. Let me get a... There we go. So yeah, they'll bloom for a while. Some of these cacti rival orchids in their bloom length. Not like the actual individual bloom life, but the amount of flowers itself is just large. Like this one here, Matidae, bloomed for a while. Like these massive rings. The last bloom it had was way down here in growth. It's grown all of this since in here. This one's a cactus that likes to like grow up and then out and then flop over, and that's actually perfectly normal for it. I'm trying to avoid that for now, but I've seen people actually grow it, believe it or not, upside down, put it in the bottom of the pot and then grow it so it's hanging downwards, and apparently they have great success doing that. But yeah, these flowers. So anyway, yeah, that's a backyard tour, just a little general updates of everything going on. Lots of cacti blooms coming in. Most of them are the pink and red Mammalarias, because I think a majority of the genus is pink and red, and then there's some whites and some yellows after that. But they're my favorite genus, and they're my favorite genus for a reason, because there's so much variation. Like elegans here is like so like just beautiful to look at. You can see how trippy it is. Like if I look at it from different angles, and you see how the top looks like it's greener than it actually is, even though there's still a lot of spines there. And it's just this perfect little sphere. Whereas like Celsiana here has these clusters of hairy spines, and it's got those big spines that stick out. Pringlei has a similar situation with these coppery spines. Columbiana is a very like columnar shape. Mystax has not a lot of hair on the areoles themselves where the spines grow, but between them where the flowers emerge there's a lot, and they're very stiff spines. And then you get Matidae here that grows very columnar and likes to flop all over the place. Hopefully this plant will start to bloom soon. You can actually, real quick before I head off, see that this is where they actually got damaged in a hailstorm a couple years back. And they've been growing fine since. They outgrew it, no problem. And it just continues to blow me away with the amount of flowers it produces. Which both sides were in bloom, but can't get everything you want. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me for this yard tour. I do hope you enjoyed it and found something interesting. Thank you guys for watching.